Hello and welcome to this pricing trends video for 2017. My name is Emmanuel Remu. I'm the marketing executive at BlackCurve. And today I have with me Philip Huthwaite, CEO and founder of BlackCurve. And just to give a little bit more about BlackCurve, so BlackCurve creates software solutions that helps businesses fine-tune their pricing. And basically, we wanted to deep dive today about all the pricing trends we think that are going to happen this year, and the do's and don'ts, and like how companies are going to react to pricing in 2017. So Philip, just to kick everything off, like what are like pricing trends that businesses and people who are focused on pricing companies should be aware of for 2017?
I think the big hitters and that people are going to be aware of in pricing this year is that the first one being that pricing as a role, so whether you have a pricing analyst or a pricing manager in your organization, that's going to become more common. A lot of the big businesses already have, and I'm talking multi-billion pound businesses, already have pricing managers, pricing analysts, and they've been well established for certain instances, decades. It's been a role. But certainly in the medium-sized businesses and the smaller-sized businesses, pricing is not a dedicated function. And I think over time, those businesses will start to see, hang on a minute, I do need to focus more on pricing as a full-time position, and therefore they will start to recruit those types of roles. Secondly, I think that as we get more and more pricing managers, pricing analysts, and those type of capabilities, pricing certification will become more commonplace, because everyone as individuals on their day-to-day might think they're doing the right thing, but having that extra, hang on a minute, I've attended this course and I've learned these fundamentals and I can then apply them to my business, gives you that extra edge. And also it helps you when you're looking for a new pricing role, because you can say, hang on a minute, I've got this pricing certification, whether it be from Professional Pricing Society or the European Pricing Platform. It gives you that extra edge. So I think that will become more prevalent. Also, I think that there will be an increased focus on pricing tools. So we still go into organizations, and even multi-billion pound organizations, that are managing pricing on Excel or access type databases, and they're great, they get to a certain extent, but they have a lot of shortcomings and cannot help you reach your full potential. And I think with pricing tools, especially with BlackCurve's tool, we've worked hard to make it a lot easier to implement, a lot easier to get up and running, and more intuitive and easy to use. And so therefore I think that people will start to see that, hang on, if I can get a pricing tool, which means that I can make that change, it's instantly available to everybody, wouldn't that be fantastic? Because I think there's a stat I read the other day around Amazon changes the price every 10 seconds. Yeah, they are dynamic pricing. Now, fine, they're a retailer and manufacturers don't need to do that. But if you're a manufacturer and you've got a sales force, even just across your country, what's that costing you if you make a price change and you don't know that they've all got it until a couple of days or a week later, or if you have to go through a long approval cycle? That's the process. And also in Excel as well, it has its limitations around the advanced rules that you can apply, and if you can apply some more advanced rules and some clever pricing rules, then that's where you can start to get those real incremental gains, and pricing tools will help you do that. So I think that will be prevalent. There's been a lot of talk, not necessarily within pricing per se, but within pricing tools and within software as a whole, that AI, artificial intelligence, is a big buzzword. And I still don't think that in 2017 organizations, for one, are ready for it, and also I don't think the tech's necessarily there for it. And actually, because a lot of people are still pricing on relatively simple rules such as cost plus pricing, by simply using sort of more smarter analytics, that will be a big trend, as opposed to AI, because you can get your house in order, get your basics right, walk before you can run, they'll automatically get some big jumps from pricing smarter. So I just wanted to sort of caveat that AI being a big term, that not necessarily, I might be wrong, but yeah, that's my view.
Interesting. So like, is there any particular industries or like companies that you see are like more further along in terms of implementing pricing tools and strategies? Are you thinking as pricing as a key component to actually growing their companies, or do you think that some industries are a little bit far behind? Like, what could you delve into that a little bit more?
Yeah, great question. Thanks, Money. So I think, and I've touched upon Amazon as an example before, that generally speaking, consumer-facing industries such as online retailers are, or if you're booking your airline ticket, they are a lot more advanced when it comes to pricing, just because they train their consumers to certainly expect it, and also because how you interact with them, it's very much online to a certain extent. It's faceless. You can dynamically you change your price instantly, and then the next time you log on a few minutes later, you can present a new price. The consumers have come to expect it, and therefore I think that retailers have been leading the way in order to reap the rewards from more advanced pricing methodology. So I think they're more advanced from a pricing perspective. That's not to say that other industries have been left behind, and I've seen some fantastic pricing strategies being applied in manufacturers, wholesalers and distributors, and also in service industries as well. But primarily, if you look at the 80-20 rule, retailers are ahead of the curve. But that means that the opportunity from a manufacturing stance, if a manufacturer is only using cost plus pricing or very basic segmentation strategies, they're going to have a bigger initial reward if they start to use these more advanced pricing rules and start to see pricing as a key lever. Let's forget, I want to make a 30% margin on average. Let's throw that out the window and let's think more strategically around how can I use pricing to grow my business.
Absolutely. And just to tag on to that, do you think there's a particular trend that you're seeing in all these industries, or is there a big overarching trend for this year, in particular for pricing?
I think that the key theme for this year is pricing tools. I think that is the key thing, because if you can get these tools in place, and even if you don't have necessarily a dedicated pricing manager in your business, if you have the pricing tools and you have the support that those tools give you, then it can start to recommend things which take you maybe outside of your comfort zone, but the tools will support you and give you that sort of cotton wool and sort of a helping hand in order to, Mr. Customer, why don't you implement these particular rules? You can restrict how you implement it. You can implement it only on these particular products just to get a test in a sense for how it runs, and then you can grow from that and say, right, that pricing rule worked fantastically in that particular segment. Let's apply it to this next product. Let's apply it to this other market segment, and start small and grow from there. And that's where I think that we're getting called up, even from a wide range of sectors who haven't necessarily reaped the rewards from pricing, but suddenly they're thinking, oh great, if I have this tool, that means I can do this, this, and this, and this, and that's fantastic. Because it's businesses who aren't focused on pricing who have that big leap to make, and that's really exciting.
Absolutely. And do you feel like the businesses who don't necessarily understand pricing are quite new to it? They're it's a brand new playing field for them. Why should they necessarily care? Because we mentioned retailers a lot more further ahead. They understand it, the consumers understand it, so they like to train customers that you should think about pricing. So for businesses who are not necessarily ready to jump into pricing, why should they care about pricing and implementing pricing tools and strategies for this year, and not only for this year, but in upcoming years as well?
Long story short, pricing is the single best driver to improve your business performance in terms of a profitability or revenue growth perspective. A 10% improvement in price has a much better impact on your business than a 10% reduction in cost or a 10% increase in sales volume. So why would you invest in that customer relationship management system? Why would you invest in let's get 10 extra sales guys, let's get 100 extra sales guys? Fine, you can invest in those, but why don't you invest in pricing as well if it has the greatest impact on your business? It sort of seems a bit of a no-brainer, but still, I think because it's perceived as a bit of a dark art, and getting pricing right is difficult. It's not easy. One thing that works for one organisation is not going to work for another organisation. But there are some fundamental basics which run through any organisation, regardless of sector, that if you get those right, then you move up the next level and focus on those incremental gains within your organisation. And as I said, it's the best lever for improving your business performance. So focus on it now if you're not doing on it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what would let's drum up a example. So we have a new company. Let's say they're a manufacturer. They want to get into pricing, and they said, okay, I need to invest in this. Okay, I need to implement some tools, strategies, but they're not quite sure what results they're going to get from that. So what typical results do you see from companies who do implement some pricing tools and really think about advanced pricing strategies?
Generally, at the entry level, base level, we would expect any company, if they're not doing that great at pricing, they should at very least get a 5% improvement in their profitability.
Yeah.
Okay, now that is the very least, and we have seen huge percentages above that where companies have moved away from cost plus pricing and have been making, just simply by detaching that, have increased their business performance by millions of pounds. And 5%, okay, might be different from a £1 million company to £10 million company to £100 million company to £1 billion plus company, but it's still a sizable percentage, whatever way you look at it.
Absolutely.
And as I said, that's an entry level. And even I've been having conversations through the various networks with the industry leaders in their respective sector. We're talking tens of billions of pounds, and they still haven't got it right. They've still got a dedicated pricing team with lots of people in it trying to stay ahead and also still eke out those extra margin improvements. And if they haven't got it right, if the market leader still thinks they haven't got it right, if you're not the market leader, you sure as hell ain't got it right. So it means that, okay, that's great. Well, I've got this opportunity ahead of me, which I can target and laser focus and go and present back to my boss that, hey, boss, by pricing, I've given you an extra X to communicate with shareholders or your investors or whoever it is. So it's an exciting time.
Cool. I think all the points you mentioned is really interesting. Like we mentioned, we covered industries a lot further ahead, and companies might not necessarily be aware of pricing, but outlined the trends that will definitely impact them. Is it so? Like anyone who's actually viewing this video, like what will be the next steps in terms of implementing all the stuff that we talked about today?
Well, I mean, I'll open up there. So if anybody wants to chat about any of the content or any of the resources or blog posts that we've got a team of pricing consultants, or you can talk to me as well if you'd like to have a chat with me. I'd be delighted to talk with, I think initially it's explaining your current situation and then opening your eyes to the respective areas that you can go in, because one thing that will work for a retail customer is going to be slightly different to a manufacturer, but there are some common themes that run through. So pick up the phone. You can do that. Visit our contact page and ask for the team, and we'll put you in touch with the respective people and go from there.
I think that's a nice little end to this video. So yeah, we've basically covered a lot of pricing trends, tools that you can consider, and obviously training that some companies can actually implement for their employees. So if you want any more information, visit BlackCurve.com. We have a contact page if you want to get in touch with Philip, and a lot of resources in terms of free guides, tools, and we have a few consultants you want to reach out to them as well. So yeah, thank you for enjoying this video, viewing this video, and hope to see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.